Good morning, boys and girls. Let's see. We got one person on. Just wait, 2 people. Just a couple minutes. Hey, Reagan. Hey, Wes. So we actually ended the book. We figured out in the beginning what Jack was talking about when he was talking about that blue car. And hey, Elijah. And when he was talking about how many miles before he has to go to sleep, and the blue car that was splattered with mud speeding down the road. We ended up figuring out what that was about. And it was about the car that hit his dog, Sky. So we ended the first part of the book where Jack wrote a poem, and it was Love That Dog, inspired by Walter Dean Myers. And it said, love that dog like a bird loves to fly. I said, love that dog like a bird loves to fly. Love to call him in the morning. Love to call him, hey there, Sky. So the end of this is just a little section, and it is some of the poems used by Miss Stretchberry. So some of the poems that his teacher read them. So I'm going to read them to you. The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. Hey, Zach, we are on, go to page 86, Zach, and then flip from there to the Red Wheelbarrow. The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow, glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. The next one, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I don't know if you guys ever checked this book out, but I actually have this one, this exact book, this poem in the poetry section on our classroom library. So some of you might have checked that out. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are a lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. I always thought that one reminded me of Santa Claus. Whenever I read that, I always thought he was talking about Santa Claus, because he talked about being a darkest evening, woods, frozen lake, ring the harness bells, miles to go before he sleeps. So I always thought that. The Tiger by William Blake. Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Dog by Valerie Worth. Under a maple tree the dog lies down, lolls his limbs, tongue yawns, rests his long chin carefully between front paws, looks up, alert, chops with heavy jaws at a slow fly, blinks, rolls on his side, sighs, closes his eyes, sleeps all afternoon in his loose skin. And that's the way that poem is set up. The Pasture by Robert Frost. I'm going out to clean the pasture spring. I'll only stop to rake the leaves away and wait to watch the water clear I may. I shan't be gone long. You come too. I'm going out to fetch the little calf that's standing by the mother It's so young, it totters when she licks it with her tongue. I shan't be gone long, you come too. Street Music by Arnold Adolph. Now, if you look at this poem, okay, I'm going to read it to you. You can kind of see the way the author wrote it. And it's called Street Music. So I think he wrote it like this, almost as if he were playing music. This city, the always noise grinding up from the subways underground, slamming from bus tires and taxi horns and engines of cars and trucks in all vocabularies of clash, flash, screeching, hot metal language combinations, as planes overhead roar, an orchestra of rolling drums and battle blasts assaulting my ears, with the always noise of this city, street music. And that one, I kind of think he might be talking about maybe New York City, because he's talking about subways and buses and taxi horns. And he's saying the noise of the city is almost like street music. The apple. See how this one's written in the shape of an apple? Stems. Apple, 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 apple. Apple, yum, apple, yum. Apple, yum, apple. Juicy, 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 juicy. Crunchy, 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 crunchy. Red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green. Red, apple, 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 apple. Apple, 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 apple. Apple, 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 apple. Yum, delicious, yum, delicious, yum, delicious, yum, delicious, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 wormy, worm, yuck, yuck, yum, yum. Yum, 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 wormy, worm, yuck, yuck, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, delicious, yum, delicious, yum, delicious. Apple, 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 apple. Apple, 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 apple. Apple, 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 apple. Red, yellow, green, red, yellow, green, red. Crunchy, 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 juicy, juicy, juicy. Apple, apple. And so we heard him kind of talk about, at one point he said the worm, yuck. So we know the worm must have been in the apple. All right. This one, Love That Boy by Walter Dean Myers. Love that boy, like a rabbit loves to run. I said, love that boy, like a rabbit loves to run. Love to call him in the morning, love to call him, hey there, son. So this is the poem that inspired Jack to write his poem, Love That Dog. You can see he kind of used the same outline as Mr. Walter Dean Myers. All right, and that is the end of the book, Love That Dog. I am going to send you a link for a Zoom meeting, so check your Canvas inbox, and I'll see you all in a little bit. See you soon. Bye.